What is the most dangerous moment in a leader's career? It's not the terrifying day one of the startup. It's not the dark night of the soul when you're facing payroll and might not make it. The most dangerous moment in your career is the day after you've succeeded. It's the moment you get the funding, the moment you win the contract, the moment you get the promotion, the moment your system is finally working. Because this is the moment when strategic drift begins. Strategic drift is one of the most subtle and lethal phenomena in business and in life. It's the slow, imperceptible, degree-by-degree deviation from your core mission. It's the 1,000 tiny compromises you make in the name of growth, pragmatism, and smart strategy. It's what happens when the complexity of your success begins to obscure the clarity of your purpose. And the ultimate and most tragic case study of strategic drift is not a modern corporation. It is the story of the wisest, wealthiest, and most successful CEO who ever lived. A man who started with a perfect protocol, built a global empire, and died presiding over a system so corrupt that it tore itself apart the moment he was gone. This is the story of King Solomon. We have spent 11 sessions analyzing the protocols for building resilience, teams, and influence. Today, in our final session of this arc, we are analyzing the protocol for managing the success that comes from them. We are not here to study Solomon's wisdom. We are here to deconstruct his catastrophic failure. We are here to extract a diagnostic framework that you can use to audit your own life and business, to ensure that your success does not become the very thing that destroys you. This is the Solomon framework. If you are a high performer, this might be the most important leadership conversation we will ever have. Hit that like button. Let's begin the audit. The story begins in the first book of Kings. Solomon, a young man, inherits the throne of his father David. Let's reframe this. He inherits the CEO position of a powerful, stable, but battle-scarred enterprise. His father was a warlord founder. Solomon is the second-generation leader, tasked with scaling and refining the system. His first official act is to go to Gibeon to offer sacrifices. And that night, he has a meeting with the chairman of the board, God himself. And he is given a blank check, the ultimate executive compensation package. God says to him, "Ask for whatever you want me to give you." Let's analyze this as a high-stakes pitch. Solomon could have asked for anything. He could have asked for more market share, the lives of your enemies. He could have asked for a longer contract, a long life. He could have asked for a massive bonus, riches. He asks for none of them. Instead, he makes the single greatest strategic request in history. He says, "I am only a little child and do not know how to carry out my duties. So give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong." He doesn't ask for a result. He asks for an operational capacity. He asks for wisdom, a listening heart. He is essentially asking for the core competency required to run the system well. The request is so good, it blows the chairman away. God says, "Since you have asked for this and not for long life or wealth or the lives of your enemies, but for discernment in administering justice, I will do what you have asked. Moreover, I will give you what you have not asked for, both wealth and honor." This is the Gibeon Protocol. It is Solomon's foundational, non-negotiable mission statement. His entire system is built on this one principle. Wisdom in service of the people is the primary goal. Everything else is secondary. And the system works. Phase 2 is peak performance. The first test of his new operating system is the famous case of the 2 women and the baby. It's a complex, emotionally charged dispute with no clear data. Solomon's wisdom protocol cuts through the noise, reveals the truth, and delivers a perfect judgment. His brand as a wise leader is instantly established. He then executes the greatest building project in his nation's history. The temple. It is a masterpiece of logistics, resource management, and focus. He builds a palace for himself. He establishes a navy. He opens up global trade routes. The text says he made silver as common in Jerusalem as stones. He is the most successful, wisest, wealthiest CEO on earth. His system is perfect. His protocol is proven. He has won. And this is the moment the strategic drift begins. This is phase 3, the corruption of the core protocol. The drift doesn't look like a failure. It looks like a series of smart, pragmatic, strategic decisions. Solomon, now the CEO of a global empire, needs to secure his borders. He needs to manage international relations. So, he begins to make strategic alliances. The text says, Solomon made an alliance with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and married his daughter. This is a brilliant geopolitical move. It secures his southern border with a powerful neighbor. A smart M&A, merger and acquisition, deal. But this alliance comes with a condition, a small compromise. The Egyptian princess, a foreign asset, needs to be accommodated. She brings her own corporate culture, her own gods. And Solomon, the pragmatist, agrees. Then the text continues. He does it again, and again, and again. He had 700 wives of royal birth and 300 concubines. We read this and think it's about sex or romance. It is not. This is a list of 1,000 strategic and political alliances, 1,000 M&A deals. He has merged his company with every major power in the region. And every single one of these alliances came with a condition, a small compromise, a strategic accommodation. The text is explicit. As Solomon grew old, his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God, as the heart of David his father had been. The smart strategic alliances introduced a virus into his core operating system. The man whose mission was founded on singular wisdom from one source was now building temples and burning incense to a dozen other sources. The man who built the ultimate temple to the one God was now personally funding and building startup shrines for the gods of his foreign partners. He did not have a dramatic, sudden failure. He had a slow, creeping, strategic drift. He became a victim of his own complexity. His global strategy, which seemed so smart, was in direct violation of his Gibeon protocol of singular focus. He was so busy managing his 1,000 new alliances that he forgot to manage his one core mission. This leads to phase 4, the system collapse. The drift, which was invisible for years, finally surfaces. The text says, "The Lord became angry with Solomon because his heart had turned away." The consequences are not immediate, but they are total. God informs Solomon that the kingdom will be torn away from you. The enterprise he spent his entire life building will be ripped in two. And the moment he dies, that is exactly what happens. His son takes over, and the kingdom shatters into two rival companies, Israel and Judah. The golden age is over. The system collapsed. Why? Because the man at the center, the wisest man in the world, allowed his complex, successful strategy to corrupt his simple, foundational protocol. He was a brilliant tactician, but a failed strategist. This story is a terrifying warning to every successful person. Success is not a destination. It is a high-stakes maintenance project. And the moment you stop auditing your own success, you are on the path to failure. So, how do we prevent this? We need a diagnostic tool. We need a framework to audit our own success for strategic drift. This is the Solomon Framework. It's not a plan for getting wise. It's a protocol for staying true. The core principle is this: strategic drift is the natural byproduct of success. Success creates complexity, and complexity obscures your core purpose. Therefore, you must install a non-negotiable, recurring protocol to audit your current strategic alliances against your foundational core mission. Here is the three-step Solomon Framework. This is a diagnostic, not a plan. I want you to schedule this for yourself, once a quarter, once a year, but you must do it. Step 1. Define your Gibeon protocol. Before you can diagnose drift, you must know what you are drifting from. You must go back to your Gibeon moment. What was the one non-negotiable principle you had when you started? Maybe it was when you founded your company. What was the core mission? E.g., to build the most reliable product on the market, period. Maybe it was when you started your family. What was the core protocol? E.g., to be a present father, no matter what. Maybe it was when you took your job. E.g., to produce work of absolute integrity. Take out a piece of paper and write this core mission at the top. It should be one sentence. This is your North Star. This is your wisdom. Step 2. Audit your foreign alliances. Now, make a list of all the major alliances, the projects, clients, relationships, and commitments that you have added to your life since you became successful. This is the list of your complexities: the new high-value client, the new project you're leading, the board you joined, the new social circle, the 700 wives. Be honest. List them all. These are all the smart, strategic moves you have made that have added layers to your life and business. Step 3. Identify the strategic drift. This is the moment of truth. Go down your list of alliances from step 2, one by one. And for each one, ask this simple, brutal question. Does this alliance force me to make a small, pragmatic compromise against my core mission from step 1? Be ruthless. This new client in step 2 is highly profitable, but they are forcing me to cut corners, which violates my build the most reliable product mission from step 1. That is strategic drift. This new executive role in step 2 is prestigious, but it requires me to travel 90% of the time, which violates my be a present father mission from step 1. That is strategic drift. This new growth hacking technique in step 2 is effective, but it requires me to bend the truth in my marketing, which violates my absolute integrity mission from step 1. That is strategic drift. You are looking for the small shrines you have built to accommodate your smart alliances. You're looking for the viruses that have entered your operating system. When you find a conflict, you have identified strategic drift. And you now have a choice. You can either A, cut the alliance that is causing the drift, or B, watch it slowly corrupt and destroy your entire system. That is the framework. It's an integrity audit. It's a protocol for managing the complexity that success creates. Solomon was the wisest man in the world, but his wisdom was not a superpower. It was an operational capacity that required maintenance. And when he stopped maintaining it, when he stopped auditing his own actions against his core protocol, he failed. Your talent, your drive, your success, they are not enough to protect you. Your success, in fact, makes you a bigger target. The only thing that can protect you is a non-negotiable discipline protocol of self-auditing. So here is your final action item for this series, a challenge. In the next 24 hours, I want you to find 15 minutes of total silence. No phone, no meetings. And I want you to execute step 1 of the Solomon framework. Get a single piece of paper and write down your Gibeon protocol. What was the one thing you asked for? What was the one thing that mattered when you began your journey? What is your core mission? Write it down and put it somewhere you will see it every single day. Because that simple sentence is your North Star. And in the complex, foggy, distracting, and dangerous world of success, it is the only thing that will keep you on course.